Hello, friends. Welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today I'm going to be showing you how I'm setting up my planner to achieve my September monthly goals in a fun and functional way. So let's get planning. And I've got this mild liner here ready to go, along with some different washi tapes I may use, and these various sticker books, which I'll pull from. Okay, let me go ahead and lay down some wax paper so I can figure things out. Haven't really thought this through very much other than kind of thinking I want to use some of these fall collection stickers from Plannything, and then maybe add in some supporting quotes from the Goal Getter sticker book from the Happy Planner. And I pulled out my Girl Boss Anna Narrative Hue sticker book to add a little bit of color in and around maybe some of the more functional areas. We'll see how it all turns out. So I'm flipping through the book quite a bit, just kind of looking for the collection I want to use, and then also looking through the sticker book for potential quotes that will work in the space with that color scheme. I think I've got a good idea of which quote here that I want to use. I'm thinking maybe putting them across the middle as a way of adding that decor, but without really hindering the space I need for functionality. But we'll see. I do use these lists quite a bit on the right-hand side, and then I also oftentimes do have a lot of goal milestones to write in, so I do want to make sure I have enough space for those things. It is fun to make things look pretty and, interesting to look at, but I do want to make sure that this is a usable spread for me. I don't want to make it so that I can't actually use the spread the way it's intended. So I'm going through the sticker book now from the Happy Planner and just looking for anything else I think I might want to add in here. But I think for now we're going to stick with the quotes, and then maybe I'll pull in a little bit of that purple somewhere else, since I do like the quote that says "you can do anything" and has that purple kind of already part of the quote. That can be an issue, but that also led me to use this collection in particular because there are a couple of stickers in there that have almost like a soft purple hue in them, like the sweater I've pulled and the socks. So we will see how this goes and see what we can come up with, making everything feel somewhat cohesive. And since I started laying stuff there across the middle, I'm going to go ahead and try to do the same all the way across the page. We'll see how this all works out. This shouldn't take up too much room there below the functional boxes so that I can still get enough of what I need in there. And then I'm just really trying to fit things in and around the quotes at this point as I'm laying them down on the sheet, keeping it all kind of linear across the spread. Got a few things here that I'm working on as far as just balance. Thought it'd be nice to have both of those, but the "you can do anything" quote is a little bit trickier to work around. So I do fiddle with that quite a bit, just trying to figure out what items I can use in and around it and still make it feel right. And yes, I'm totally into the fall feels, even though September hasn't even started yet. But I'm ready. I'm ready for summer to be over. And I'm ready for some cozy vibes and some crisp air and sweaters and all that good stuff. So it's a little bit of wishful thinking, but I'm here for it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put in all of the kind of fall vibe elements and really just start feeling fall-y. like I said, it's a little bit trickier over here next to this quote. I've moved in a few items there. Feels a little bit more like a line of things versus a collage, but we'll see if I can make that work. I'm also going to drop in a little bit of this polka dotted washi tape. This would be a nice way to tie in a little bit of black into the spread and then also a little bit of additional texture. We'll see. Telling you, it was a tricky one. I don't know, I fiddled a lot. And I'm liking that. I'm liking that it's a little bit more prominent there and not totally covered by clear sticker. It gives it a little bit better balance, I think, on both sides. So I'm going to move into the Girl Boss Anna book here that has all the different colorways of her overlay tapes. And I'm going to try and find some colors to go with this theme so that I could bring a little bit of life to the goal setting areas. I'm just really going through, looking through what I think might work, but also not be too much. It's a little bit tricky though. I do like these warm brown tones, but they feel like they might be a little too dark for what I want to use them for. And then the taupe is close. I mean, that's not too bad. But I don't know. I'm going back and forth on whether I want to do that. I also like to label what each of the goals is, and I usually do that on the side. So I was going to start pulling out some of the smaller versions of those same colors to highlight that on the edge. But we will see there. Again, it's a little tricky. I was thinking it might be a little bit weird looking, so kind of backtracked on that idea. So we're back to this. So I just went down to the 4, and then even that, the colors, I'm not 100% sure on. I thought maybe I could bring in some of the purple here on this side using these longer similar style stickers from the Happy Planner with the kind of color wash look. And actually that doesn't look too bad and I look at it on camera, but at the time, I don't know, I was just feeling like the purple wasn't quite right. Like we had enough with the anything, so I don't know, we'll see. And I went ahead and put back the colors of the like taupe and the like darker leaning towards brown purple tones and just went ahead and doubled up the orange and the yellows. I thought that that was a little bit brighter, a little bit less dreary, and I need all the brightness I can get to help with these goals. So we're going to go with those. And then I also decided to pull in more of that color through some washi, layering that in with the polka dotted washi. So I'm just going to figure out how I can add that in. Again, just some added color to this spread using those washis in the orange and yellow. And I'm thinking for balance, kind of need to do them in the center, top and bottom, since I have little layers of them on the right and left side in the middle. So we're going to go with that. I have a hard time letting things be just kind of unbalanced. I always feel like it doesn't feel right if I don't balance things out. So I know there are some other planner babes that are really good at just kind of letting things go and just like it works out for them. That never works out for me. So I'm always leaning towards making things balance, and sometimes that can be a struggle if things are not quite weighted properly or I don't have enough of what I need. So in the end, that's usually what I end up doing, is balancing it out. So I'm already preparing the spread right now for where those clear stickers are going to lie. And I'm going to white out as much of the black lines as possible. I'm also probably going to white out even some of those darker gray lines just because I feel like it's going to be a bit too busy with all the activity going on in that area, so we'll see. But as the first layer dries there, I'll go ahead and lay in the top washi and then reset the wax paper just to kind of see where we are, and then go ahead and move on to the bottom washi. So I'm layering that in now and just slightly offsetting it a bit. So here, let's go ahead and try to do a little bit of a roll off on this. This should work even though many of the stickers aren't really touching, because they're all in a straight line. I think I should be able to still pull this off. So we'll get that ready, but as you can see, I decided to go back and do a little bit more whiting out of those darker lines and the boxes where these stickers are going to land. Again, just to kind of make it look a little cleaner. It is robbing me of about 3 or 4 lines there of task area items. I haven't had to use a full box in a little while, so I think it should be fine, but you never know how the week is going to turn out. I do prefer to leave myself as much functional space as possible, but I will sacrifice for decor if need be. So let's go ahead and start rolling these guys off. Like I said, I think this is going to go pretty smooth, and it really did. I had a few stickers I didn't want to lay down just yet, so I was trying to be careful to not let those like overlay tape type stickers come off in the same process. Aside from that, everything really just slid off perfectly. Went ahead and whited out a little bit behind that one purple shaded sweater sticker. And now I'm going to go ahead and separate out the pages, clean out the holes as well while I'm at it. And I'm just going to use my precision cutter for this instead of trying to re-hole punch them. It just saves me time in the end, so I have a terrible happy planner punch in my stash. I really wanted to invest in another punch, but I noticed that the arc planner punches, and I believe the Levenger punch as well, have a much shorter stem on the hole punch, so I don't know, it's just like, it's not the same as the Happy Planner punch, but the We Are Memory Keepers disc punch that I have is much more like the Happy Planner punch, so I don't know, it's like I have to commit to either one because it does change the positioning of the paper as it sits in your planner. Anyway, that was just a little tidbit about my struggles with hole punches. Back to your regular scheduled program. Let's go ahead and put in these goals. I'm going to start off by just making a numbered goal area and then using those overlay tapes on top of those. Once I had done that, honestly, I think I might go back during the month or, before the month starts and beef up the weight of the numbers just because they kind of do fade out a bit behind those tapes. But I think it's a cool way to add a little bit of extra color there. And we'll get started with the goal setting. Okay, so my first goal is going to be, once again, to create and list some new items in my Etsy shop. This is part of my quarterly goals that I wanted to achieve, so it's here again on this month's goals as a way to continue to work towards that quarterly goal. And I am going to build and list a new item each week, devote 3 to 5 hours each week to that production, and then hopefully in the end of the month end up with 4 new items at least in my shop. Now, many of you know I'm moving, so we will see if this all really happens, but I do like to set lofty goals and at least make progress in some areas of my life that I really want to grow in. I also went ahead and labeled that goal for business, and my next goal is going to be a self-care goal this month instead of another professional goal, since I really wasn't able to do any of my professional goals last month. And so this month, I want to make more time for me and for fun because I am getting very stressed and burnt out. I just need to step away from all the things and do some fun activities aside from all of this. I'm going to plan at least 1 or 2 friend walks and talks each week. Set aside a half day each week for fun times and really focus on prioritizing my happiness. Hopefully that will help me just kind of get back on track, mental, physical health, and yeah, I'm ready. It's been a crazy few months and I'm at my wit's end, to be honest. So my next goal is a health goal, and I'm going to try to start lifting weights again consistently 3 days a week. I need to find and follow a plan. I need to adjust my morning schedule to fit that work in before I get too lazy or too overwhelmed to even think about it. And so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to try and set the same time each day for all my workout routines and stick to it to help me create a habit, which has been it's really hard for me to do because sometimes I have time, sometimes I don't, sometimes I'm trying to do things in the daylight and it doesn't work. So I really need to figure out a better schedule. Also too, I need to allow extra time in and around my workout so that I can, shower. And then also I just need to get dressed and get ready to work out, warm up, all that good stuff. Just need to be thoughtful of those things. And finally, I have a home and life goal, which is to sell and donate items from my purge that we've been doing from our moving situation. I need to gather all of the items that I want to sell and take the photos. I need to list those items, get them up, and get them going, and then also gather and figure out what I'm donating to charity, friends, family, to get those things out of the house. So those are my goals for September. I think they'll all work out, but we shall see. I'm trying to be gracious with myself. There's a lot to do, so we will do our best. And like the quote says, I can do anything, right? And just keep a positive attitude and hopefully things will get done. On to weeks. I'm getting ready the weekly tasks for next week. Usually I like to prep the first week and break it down into the big task items that I'm going to need to do that week, including my goals, so I can make sure that those items, those action items, get incorporated into my daily schedule. So, of course, I'm going to add in my production schedule of filming through posting of all my videos for YouTube. I need to create that item for Etsy, so I'm going to devote those 4 hours of time to that, reserving an hour of time to list it onto Etsy as well if I'm going to achieve that goal as listed. I also am planning on lifting Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, so let's hope that will work out with my schedule. I'll also plan to take photos and sell those items and do that on Sunday at some point if all works out. And then I'm going to set aside Friday afternoons for my fun time, that half day. I think I can get all that done and still, have time for some of those other items. Hopefully it won't be, too overwhelming with freelance work and things that come at me as the week progresses. This is a really great way for me to just keep track of all of the crazy. So it's good to have an overview of the goals, where I want to be, and how I plan to achieve them. So that's going to do it, friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.